Welcome to the Loud Lounge with yours truly, Select Day. And today, I have a guest that's been on my bucket list, a personal friend of mine that takes me back to my college days, Paul Michael. Welcome, finally, to the Loud Lounge. So Paul, it's not much long talking. We're just going to get straight into it. So this is not your typical interview. I'm not going to question you. We're going to have a conversation. I want your fans that already know you as a DJ get a better understanding of who Paul Michael is to broaden your fan base. So we're going to start off. Those that don't know, how did you come up with the DJ name Paul Michael? Please let them know.
Oh, that's my actual name. That's an easy question. That's my actual government name.
Yes. So those that don't know, he's a amazing DJ that I met in my Providence days at New England Tech. The only man that was playing reggae and dancehall that we can relate to, that played it with a Caribbean flavor. I've had many nights in Lot 401, having a great time at your expense. I don't know if I could say this on air, but a lot of girls I've met because of Paul Michael's parties. But Lemon, you can edit that later. So what got you into the whole spectrum of music and reggae music at that? That's what I always wanted to know.
So when I was younger, maybe about 14 or 15, my sister was dating a guy. My sister's older than me.
Yeah.
And the guy that she was dating used to listen to a lot of Bob Marley music. So my introduction to reggae music, like a lot of, I would say foreigners, introduction to reggae music is Bob Marley. And then from there, I liked it. So then from there, I started listening to more reggae music. So like Black Uhuru, and then I found dancehall, like Shaba and Ninja. This is back in the days, like back in like late 80s, early 90s. So then there was like Shaba, and then there was Ninja Man, and then it just snowballed from there, and I was hooked.
He was hooked. So I can say, those that don't know you, a lot of people that is just becoming to see the face and hear the name, I can say you've been in the business for a while.
Yeah, long time.
A lot of people can say, oh, he's a new DJ. I can tell you this and look you straight in the camera. I've seen this man play vinyl. I've seen the record crates. I've helped him lift the record crates in. He played vinyl. So I can say, a lot of guys will say, oh, I don't really know him. He played vinyl. I can look you honestly in the camera and attest to it. I've seen it. Now, being from an area, the New England area, what was it like really feeding the reggae scene? For me being Bermudian, going up to school in Providence, at whole New England, it was like a different, something that was completely different for what I used to.
Right.
So the reason why I really went to your parties and got to know you on a personal level was because being around you, the snow, the people with no manners, the rudeness, you reminded me of home. So like, who were your influences? We would say people you listen to on cassette tape that now brought the flavor that we now know as Paul Michael.
Pretty much so. A lot of my influences, DJ influences, coming, well, obviously like Stone Love. I think everybody's familiar with Stone Love. So there's Stone Love, King at Ease, being at that time was the big bad King at Ease, and I really Bass Odyssey. You know, I had an opportunity to even play some events with Bass Odyssey with Squingy early on as well. So those are some of my major influences.
Okay. So when was that moment? Because you said you was listening to Bob Marley, then you progressed to the Roots, and then you progressed to like Dennis Brown, and then you fell in love with dancehall. When was that moment that you was a hobbyist listening and enjoying this music that you said, I actually want to become a DJ and do this?
It's an accident. I thought I was going to be a professional American football player, but as you can see, like, it just wasn't in the genetics.
Yeah.
So my best friend, he's a year older than me. He was a DJ, and he went to Rhode Island College, and I was still in high school. So he joined the radio station there, and used to bring me up to bring me around and bring me up to the radio, and that's kind of how I get into the DJing thing. Okay. So then I started, buying records and getting into it, and then first time I actually played. So that was about 1992. So oh, so old.
So people can do the math.
Yeah.
Oh, just to get your refame, that was 1992.
Right.
I graduated high school in 1999.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know. Let's go back to
Yeah. So in 2 years, it took me 2 years. So back in the day, when you start, because it's vinyl, you have to collect vinyl. You have to go to the record stores and spend hours and hours and hours in the record store, going through music, finding the music that you need to have, tracking down classics, because the classics weren't always readily available in all of the record stores. Sometimes you get luck out, you find something that you've been looking for 6 months. So it took me 2 years before I actually was able to play, where I had enough of a record collection
to sustain a party.
To sustain a party, exactly, yeah.
Okay. So for me, I always refer to my college days. What was it like, from my perspective? You was the main man in Providence. Every time it was a show in Providence, Paul Michael was opening. What was it like getting that prestige to do that from such a early?
I don't know. It's just something that I just got into, and then I just went with it. Just went really hard with it over time and consistency. My brand in the area just kind of built up.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to ask you, me and Kevin Cron have met.
Yeah.
On many occasions, and it was a surprise to him that I knew you.
Okay.
I was like, by the way, my friend's a natural born cub killer.
Yeah.
And he's like, who's your friend? I said, Paul Michael. I met him in college. From me knowing you and having a simple conversation, it went from, Kevin's not a standoff guy, he's a very people person.
Yeah.
But the conversation changed when he knew somebody I knew and I was close with.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, we done an interview with Kevin, but for me sitting off, he thinks very highly of you, and he rates you, and he appreciates you, not as a DJ in his group, but he appreciates you very much as a person. So I think I'll tell you that, give you your flowers while you can.
Yeah. Kevin is
now, since
just like been friends with Kevin for 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
So since I've left college, I've seen the invention of social media, your career progress. Normally it was the guy, that's the guy that plays.
No, talking age, just say, it's like, since I left college, the internet is now a thing.
Yeah. The Instagram has now pushed you. What was it like? Because now you're playing all over, the transition from being in Providence, Rhode Island area to now staying in New York, and a simple guy that I only saw playing once a week. Now you will have a very extensive scheduling.
Yeah, for the most part. Pandemic kind of slowed things down for me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's I've been living in New York for 7 years. Okay. So I moved to New York City 7 years ago. So I'm doing stuff out there as well. I still do my Saturday event in Rhode Island. I still do it every week.
Yes,
drive down.
This Saturday.
Yes. Yeah. I love the party. I hate the drive, but I'm still doing that as well.
So hello in Bermuda. That's dedication. Please let them know how long the drive is from New York to Rhode Island.
With traffic, 4 hours.
So you see that every weekend, his third on Saturdays, if it's not booked internationally. he will be at this event. So, like we said, with social media, we went to a whole party. You've done all over. I've seen you in Texas.
Yeah.
I've seen you in Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where else have you been?
I've done a lot in Jamaica. Actually, that's yeah.
Yeah, you done Dream Weekend, am I right?
Yeah, I've done Dream in Jamaica a couple times, twice.
Okay.
They have a club in Jamaica now called Mecca. It used to be Fiction, and I used to do Fiction pretty often as well. And that is actually due to Kevin, because back in probably like 2010 to 12, one of the owners of Fiction also is Guy Squeeze in New York. He's a big media guy.
Yeah.
He used to do a Monday night in New York at SOBs, the famous SOBs called Rock with Squeeze. And I was a guest DJ there, and then Kevin brought me in to do that every week with him after that. So that's how I actually met Kevin. And my first time in Jamaica was because Squeeze brought me along with Kevin to do Fiction. So, and I've done Jamaica a lot not since before. I haven't been down since the end of the pandemic, since before, the pandemic started.
Okay. So we can honestly say now you're a touring DJ.
What's that?
You're a touring DJ.
Yeah,
You've toured many parts.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
Being a touring DJ, you're traveling. You know that different songs hit different in different things. How do you do your homework? Like, I'm playing in Texas today, I'm playing in Atlanta tomorrow, and then I'm going down to, say, Bahamas. How do you plan your music? Because the music changes, songs hit different. How you, like, what's your homework?
I ask people.
You ask people?
I ask people. Okay. So I'm also, all right, so for example, before I came down to Bermuda, I talked to Scooby.
Yeah.
But I also, I talked to Kevin, I talked to Reem from Champion Squad.
Yes,
I'm like, hey Reem, I gotta play in Bermuda. What are the vibes like there?
Yeah.
And this way I tried to get just an idea of what to expect before I get here.
Yeah.
Just so I can start planning on.
You're juggling your set.
Yeah, I don't have like predetermined sets, but this way I can kind of know
where you're thinking,
what direction or what kind of things would typically connect with the crowd here.
Okay. So that's a bit of your music side. Well, we want to know, who is Paul Michael outside of music?
That's a good question. I'm a real estate agent in Brooklyn, New York. It's such a broad question, right? So,
are you a family man?
No.
Are you into sports?
No, I used to be.
Okay.
But not lately.
And who was your team back then?
Huh?
Who was your teams that you used to support?
So like that. Told you I played American football for a long time. So like I was a big Raiders fan growing up.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I want to play linebacker for the Raiders. Wasn't gonna happen.
And then, how are you? I see you're into animals, your pets.
Oh yeah, I love animals.
Yeah. I see some of your skits and know, for you personally, you're a avid cat fan. You have a pet cat.
Yeah, that's my family's cat. So I like cats, I like dogs, I like any kind of animals I like.
See, Paul, you're lucky today.
Huh?
Normally I have a female co-host.
Uh-huh.
She be asking questions that will get to you. Like she would ask your status and all that there. But we don't have her today.
Okay.
So today I can shake your hand and say it's the lucky day. Because she would have applied the pressure on you. So the next thing I want to ask you, Paul, where do you see yourself within the next 5 years as a DJ, as well as Paul Michael, the brand?
That's a good question. Well, as a DJ, I'm hoping to be able to. So I am traveling. I am doing some touring dates, but I'd like to do more, especially international dates. I like going to check out places I've never been. Like here today, I haven't really gotten a chance to check out the island yet, but I'm looking forward to probably doing a little bit of that tomorrow before the show.
Make sure you have your sunblock.
Yeah.
And do not drink the swizzle.
What's that?
Do not drink any rum swizzle.
Yeah.
I want you sober for your performance. Okay?
Advice.
Yeah, that's advice I'm trying to tell you. Because those that don't know, he's fresh to the island of Bermuda. Please do not give him swizzle. Maybe we can meet up and I will do this, be your ambassador. I'll take you to cop match so you can feel the experience. It's hot, Paul. I'm just letting you know it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. You will see the devil walking across the crosswalk. I'm just letting you know it's hot. People that don't know how to contact you, could just look to him and tell him all your social medias and ways of reaching Paul Michael.
It's just DJ Paul Michael on all social medias. DJ PAULMICHAEL.
Okay. Now, we know you as a juggling party DJ.
Mm-hmm.
We can honestly say that you have a lot of dubs.
Yeah.
Will I ever see Paul Michael tempting to go into the Clash arena?
Probably not.
Okay.
I've never actually had an official Clash.
Okay.
I've never taken a Clash date. Okay. The reason for the dubs is, all right, so back in the day, so like, you know, because you've been in the music for a while, so when you started as a, as a touring DJ, you had to have dubs. It was a thing. So especially if you go to other cities, not even just internationally, like you're expected, if you're in Rhode Island or you're going to Boston, even if you're going to Connecticut or they're expected, everybody did, so you're expected to bring something special to the table, have exclusives, have dubs. And that's kind of where I came from. So it's part of me, and that's why I still continue to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking on that, who was your first artist you ever cut?
Oh, Wayne Wonder.
Wayne Wonder? And the reason why you picked Wayne Wonder?
Oh, he was one of my favorite artists.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Forever Strong was my favorite, was my first dub I ever cut in my life.
So, I'm not assuming that's a Stone Love anthem. Forever Strong.
It is. That particular song, that particular dub was me. It was definitely put on the map. There's a question I want to always ask you instead of us talking on the phone and stuff. What do you believe in the state of reggae and the state of dancehall as it is now? Good question. Everything evolves, right? So everything evolves, and the trending sound of dancehall has evolved from, I guess, what we would kind of traditionally identify as a dancehall sound to a lot of the modern dancehall, which doesn't really have that sound.
The rhythms and stuff like
what's that?
Like rhythms and stuff like that.
It's
more single based.
Right. So and then, but if you're listening to the actual rhythms, if you're listening to a lot of the chopper music now, it doesn't have the same drum patterns as traditional dancehall rhythms that we're used to, whether it be, something like the Punani or the Showtime or even the Answer or the Stagger. It's just different. So I think people that, I don't know how to say this, but I think people, all right, if you're not like really into it,
you won't understand it.
I think well, it's not that you won't understand it. I just feel like sometimes it'll take a little bit longer for people to gravitate towards like the newer sound as opposed to something that they've been accustomed to enjoying for years and years and years. So it's more, as everything evolves, right? It's just
so. How can we say this? And this is just my perspective. A lot of people that complain about the new dancehall didn't realize when they loved the newer dancehall for their generation was different from their parents.
Well, that's exactly it. So when people started listening to dancehall in the 80s, people that were listening to reggae in the 70s.
Yes, it's the progression.
Yes, exactly.
And if you're not progressing with the music, you get stuck in the past.
Yeah.
You like that one?
You want to say it like that?
Yeah. So you played with a lot of big selectors and big sound systems. On your bucket list, who are some other people you would like to work with? DJs, meaning artists, as well as selectors and fellow songmen like yourself.
So I've never been on an event with David Rodigan. Love to do that. He's an icon.
He was actually here 3 weeks ago.
What's that?
He was here 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, nice.
3 weeks ago. Human Dynamic.
Nice.
Yeah. David Rodigan. Who else?
So I think who else? I've played on events with almost everybody.
Oh, okay, so David Rodigan.
Yeah.
Via bucket list.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you see that here at the Loud Lounge, we're not just local, we're international. Any promoters, you know how to hit me up on the Loud Lounge as well as Paul Michael Long. Let's make his dream come true. Paul Michael, Sir David Rodigan. It's not Rodigan, it's Sir David Rodigan. Before we head out, this has been a great interview to finally meet with one of my good friends from college. 20 years, 15 days, 16 hours, and 23 seconds later. Paul, welcome to the Loud Lounge. This is the Loud Lounge of yours truly, Selector Frey and Paul Michael.